How's it going, guys? And welcome to Statistically, who is the best friend in Yu-Gi-Oh? I need to make a quick distinction first. When I say statistically the best, I mean throughout their series, statistically, the numbers-wise, who performed the best. I am not saying that the person that wins today's video or loses in today's video, if you put them all in a room or made them all play some sort of tournament together, these are the results that would come out. I definitely am not saying that. And the reason why I'm stressing this point very much today is because today's results are gonna be shocking. People are gonna be angry after this video, and I just want you all to know that I agree. I completely agree with you all. The results of today's video are only to do with stats. They're not to do with if you all these characters duel together. I just need you all to understand that before you start smashing the dislike button and telling me how this character would not be able to beat everyone. I'm pretty much spoiling what's going to happen in this video. Today, we're doing a statistically the best video on the best friends in Yu-Gi-Oh! These characters are, of course, Joey Wheeler from Duel Monsters, Syrus Truesdale from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Crow Hogan from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Bronk Stone from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Gongenzaka from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, and Soulburner from Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. The way that I've chosen these characters, these are the people that were the closest, really, to the main character. There are a couple characters I probably could have threw in today's video, like Syrus Truesdale. You could also have Jesse Anderson, for example. He sort of became a later best friend in the series. As well, maybe for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, instead of Bronk, I could have gone with Shark, but Shark I used for one of the rivals, so he's had his time in the spotlight. Let's give someone else a chance, shall we? And maybe for the latest season, Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains, instead of Soulburner, we could have gone with Kusanagi, because he is technically his best friend. He wasn't that much of a duelist. He did duel, though, so I feel like we could throw that in there, but I'm going to stick with these guys for the time being. We're not going to do any extra ones like we did with the villains. These are the guys we're going to stick with today. Now, if this is one of your first times on the Statistically series, basically the way this works is we're going to find out how each character did throughout their series. If it was ever mentioned that they won a duel, if it was ever mentioned that they lost a duel, if it was said that they lost 50 million duels off screen by a character, those are counted because it was mentioned. And some people might think that's unfair to count off-screen duels or duels when they were younger before the series started, but I like to include all this because I want to be thorough. And we're going to be including the amount of duels a character had, the total wins and losses to give a win-loss ratio. We're also going to tally some points together, so we'll give 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and -1 for a loss to punish people that maybe over-dueled but lost a lot. And then finally, I'm going to take those positions where everyone came and come up with a final score, and that's going to determine who is statistically the best friend in Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just jump straight into this video with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Joey Wheeler.
I'm gonna win this tournament and the prize money. I'm gonna make sure you don't lose your eyesight and show you that beautiful ocean one more time.
Joey Wheeler, a fan favorite character, and personally, one of my favorite ones on today's list. He was the best friend, of course, to Yugimoto. He had been there since the very beginning, along with Tristan and Taya, but Tristan I wouldn't really call that much of a duelist. He did duel, but it was Joey, obviously. Joey played only 32 duels throughout the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters series. We realized that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters characters have such few duels because the length of their duels was so big, because it was a much slower paced game. So all of the Duel Monsters characters have suffered in terms of duels, but he had 32 duels, which, believe it or not, is actually quite good for a best friend in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. He actually is one of the people on this list I would actually call a neutral agonist. He was just as important to the plot as everybody else. But out of those 32 duels, he had 14 wins, 14 losses, 1 draw, and 3 DNFs. DNF stands for did not finish. The duel got interrupted. Unfortunately, Joey did have roughly 14 duels. He had 4 off-screen losses against Taya in the very first episode. This is before he properly knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But we're counting everything as on their official record. So unfortunately, those 4 losses do add up, giving him a 14 losses, but he still had 10 anyway. Now, a lot of you do know that one of the losses that Joey suffered was against Marek Ishtar. And for all intents and purposes, he was going to win that duel. The only reason he didn't was because he passed out due to Marek's like Shadow Realm stuff. But I do feel bad not giving him this win because he was literally, all he has to do was summon the monster and say attack, but he passed out before this. But due to my own criteria, if a character lost, regardless of circumstances, they still lost. So I'm sorry I can't give him that. Joey's 1 draw was against Yugi while he was possessed by Marek. It's a bit like, should I give him this draw? But yeah, I guess it was him dueling, even though it was Marek dueling through him. It's a bit of a weird one, but I think that's fine. And his only DNF was against Yugi. At the end of Battle City, of course, Yugi owned the Red Eyes Black Dragon card. So he said that we should duel each other, and if you win, you can get Red Eyes back. And you'll see in the next season, he has Red Eyes back. So it could be assumed that Joey won this duel. It could also be assumed that maybe Yugi beat him, and he said, you played so well, here's your Red Eyes anyway. It's up for interpretation. And because it's up for interpretation, I'm going to take it as a DNF. We don't know the outcome, so I'm going to stick with that. So overall, Joey had a 50% win ratio, which is, well, it's 50%, isn't it? It's just 50%. Next up, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX's Syrus Truesdale.
Now let's see. A normal trap can counter a normal spell, a quick play spell can beat a ritual spell, and... a double knot beats a single knot.
The younger brother to my favourite character in all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, Zane Truesdale, Syrus played a Roid deck, which was never very good, if I'm being completely honest with you. If you didn't know, on the 4th season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which never got dubbed, so many of you might not know about this, he actually inherited Zane's Cyber Dark deck. And he kind of mashed it together with his Roids and created kind of like a hybrid deck. It was kind of cool, it was interesting, but regardless, he only played 21 duels throughout his series. Now keep in mind that Yu-Gi-Oh! GX characters get a lot of like bumped up stats. For instance, Chaz and Jaden both had bumped up stats, and I think Alexis did as well, but only 21 duels from Syrus. Out of those 21 duels, he only had 9 wins, he had 5 losses, 0 draws, 7 DNFs. Basically, Syrus got really lucky with the 7 DNFs. Most likely, he would probably have lost this based on these results, but he had a 64.29% win ratio. Syrus was never really my favorite duelist. I definitely think he did get better over the series, as you could see by him going from Cypher Red to Ra Yellow to Obelisk Blue. And I kind of wished all the characters did that, but regardless, 64.29%. Syrus Truesdale. Next up, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Crow Hogan.
Stop running and drop to the floor!
Oh, I'll drop to the floor, all right. The ground floor, that is.
Crow, definitely a fan favorite in terms of besties on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Crow played 26 duels. Out of his 26 duels, he had 19 wins, which is fantastic, 4 losses, 1 draw, and 2 DNFs, giving Crow a 82.61% win ratio, which is fantastic. I would say anything above like 75% is a really good score for a core player in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Well done, Crow. You did fantastic there, sir. Next up, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal's Bronk Stone.
Look, thanks for trying and all, but I'm over this, really.
Bronk Stone. He played 37 duels in his series. 37 duels, you say? I don't remember Bronk playing that many duels. That's because he had 24 off-screen duels against Yuma.
That's 20 losses in a row!
He totally kicked my butt that day.
And in those 24 duels, off-screen, he won them all. So, he had a 27 wins out of those 37 duels. He had 7 losses, 0 draws, 3 DNFs, which gives Bronk Stone a 79.41% win ratio. Yeah, this is the only time I'm going to admit it might be a problem adding off-screen duels. I feel like it should be capped when you play someone 24 times in a row and you slap them 24 times. You know, like when you do the same combo over and over again in something like Devil May Cry, and because you've done the same combo over again, it's not as stylish, so you don't get as many points. I feel like this comes into play here. But the thing is, if I take away these wins, he only has 3 wins and 7 losses, which is awful. And that is, honestly, in my personal opinion, what I think Bronk should be at. But it defeats the point of today's video, because I said I'm going to stick to what they said in the series. And by God, I'm going to stick to what they said. I'm so sorry for the results we're going to get later. I really am. But stick around for the end. I promise you, I will give you something to redeem what's going to happen later. But let's move on, shall we, to Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5's Gongenzaka.
It's time for Gon's 2 sword-swinging super heavy samurais to say bye-bye and hit the road.
Gongenzaka played 21 duels. Out of those 21 duels, he had 9 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, and 5 DNFs. Gongenzaka wasn't really focused on very heavily in his series. I could have gone with Sawatari as well, but Sawatari wasn't really a best friend. He became more of a fanboy. He didn't do that much better either. So Gongenzaka had a 60% win ratio, which is okay, but it's nothing to write home about really. But Gongenzaka, 60%. Next up, Yugioh Reigns' Soulburner.
The name is Soulburner. I'm only telling you my name because I figured you'd like to know who's sending you home in ashes.
Now, if there's a character on today's video that I feel like should be classed as the best sidekick character, just using personal biases, I do think it's Soulburner. He played tremendously throughout his series, and he has still one of the top tier decks, a Salaman Great deck. I know it's been nerfed a little bit now with like ban lists and stuff, but regardless, Soulburner played 14 duels. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns series was short, so they didn't get many duels. But how did he do out those 14 duels? Well, Soulburner had 9 wins throughout his series, and keep in mind that he beat people like Revolver, the main rival of the series. It's like the Seto Kaiba of the series. You think only that Yugi would be able to beat Seto Kaiba, not including like villains and stuff. So you think that Yusaku would be the only person that could beat Revolver. I remember watching the episode and thinking, well, Soulburner's obviously going to lose this. And he won! So I was like, oh, fair play. And he also beat an I Copy, the main antagonist of the series. So his wins are impressive. He only had 3 losses. His 3 losses were 1 to Bowman and 2 that occurred before the series in flashback. So it's a shame to give him those 2 extra losses, but they were mentioned and they were shown in a little flashback sequence. So he had 3 losses, he had 0 draws, 2 DNFs. So this gives Soulburner a 75% win ratio, which is good. It's my little criteria thing. I said 75% or above is good. So yeah, those were everybody's stats, all of the best friends. So let's move on to the rankings, shall we? Starting with the total amount of duels each duelist had. In first place is Bronk Stone with 37 duels. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, everyone. In second place is Joey Wheeler with 32 duels. Well done, Joey. In third place is Crow Hogan with 26 duels. In fourth place is Gongenzaka with 21 duels. In fifth place is Syrus Truesdale with also 21 duels. However, I gave more to Gongenzaka just because of the fact that he had less DNF, so I thought, at least he's finishing duels, I guess. And finally, in 6th place is Soulburner with only 14 duels. And that is, sadly, a price of being in a shorter series to everyone else. Next up, the win percentages. In first place is Crow Hogan with an 82.61% win ratio. In second place is Bronk Stone with 79.41%. Again, I am so sorry that Bronk is so high up on this list. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please stick around to the end. I'll make it up for you. In third place is Soulburner with a 75%. In fourth place is Syrus Truesdale with a 64.29%. In fifth is Gongenzaka with a 60%. And in sixth, unfortunately, is Joey Wheeler with a 50% win ratio. You know what? I'm not going to argue with Joey's win percentage. It's a shame because the tail losses hurt him. But the fact of the matter is, Joey was a luck-based duelist. He relied on luck a lot. He was lucky, but I feel like him being at 50% is a kind of sweet irony, really. He relies on luck in his duels, and he has a 50% win ratio. Yes, he does have skill. I'm not taking that away from him, but come on, the guy plays like time roulette and everything. So next up is the duel scores. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and -1 for a loss. In first place is Bronk Stone with 74 points. In second place is Crow Hogan with 54 points. In third place is Joey Wheeler with 29 points. In fourth place is Soulburner with 24 points. In fifth place is Gongenzaka with 22. And in sixth place is Syrus with 22 as well. Same reason, he had more DNFs, so we put Gong higher. So using all of these stats, and we're going to be giving these points based on where they came. This is the final score, and statistically, who was the best friend in Yu-Gi-Oh? In sixth place is Syrus Truesdale with 9 points. In fifth is Gongenzaka with 10 points. In fourth is Soulburner with 12 points. In third is Joey Wheeler with the bronze with 16 points. In second with the silver is Crow Hogan with 24 points. So that means in gold is Bronk Stone with 28 points. So there you go, guys. Bronk was statistically the best duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel bad because it's horrible to take someone's win away just because I don't really like the character very much. There's nothing wrong with Bronk, but he has no screen presence. It's just the fact that they said all these duels. It's so unfair that I think, even though technically this was the official result, guys, for everyone else, come with me, come with me. Well, I've got a secret backlist here, just in case. So, if we take away Bronk's wins against Yuma, where he just won over and over again, we'll smallen it down. Not as many, maybe like 1, 2, or 3 wins we'll give to him. These are the real results. Don't say I did this because it ruins the point of the video. It means that I'm corrupt. I've been corrupted, so... in 6th place is Bronk Stone with only 6 points this time. In 5th place is Syrus Truesdale with 13. In 4th is Gongenzaka with 14 points. In 3rd with the bronze is Soulburner with 17 points. In 2nd with the silver is Joey Wheeler with 21 points. And with the gold is Crow Hogan from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds with 28 points. Guys, don't tell anyone about this last little bit. If they ask, Bronk Stone is the best sidekick in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! But between us, it's Crow Hogan, with Joey in 2nd place, which I really like. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was all for a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you put these characters into a room together and they dueled each other, these are not the results you would get. This is just showing who was statistically the best based on the stats that were shown in the series. Guys, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And if you didn't know, this is the last one in the Statistically series. We've got nothing else ready to do, ready to cover. I think anything else I'll just be kind of pulling at straws. There's no more content really. I guess we could do one that's overall, out of all the characters we've covered, who was overall the best character. I'd be interested to see if it's not a main character, but guys, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Who do you, with your personal biases, think is the best out of these characters? Where would you rate them? But other than that, thank you all for watching. Catch you later. Goodbye, everyone.